Good evening. Tonight I'm talking to you about baseball and the salaries that players make and why these salaries should be changed. We may not have all been brought up around sports, and that's fine. We don't all need sports as a constant in our life. But the one thing that has been a constant throughout the years in America is the sport of baseball. Starting in 1880s and moving through the 20th century into the 21st century, the sport of baseball has been enjoyed by millions of people around the world, not only in the United States, but in the United States it is considered our American pastime. The problem I have with the salaries of the baseball players of today is the fact that they make millions of dollars, and the reason they make this money is because we go to the games, and we will not stop going. The only way to prevent this from happening is to stop watching baseball games at the stadium. So to start from the beginning, one of the most prolific baseball players of all time, Babe Ruth, was playing for the Boston Red Sox, and he wanted a raise. He wanted a raise from $19,000 to $20,000 a year. In today's dollars, that is $220,000. $220,000 is a nice salary. I'd like to make $220,000. I would enjoy making $220,000 and would be more than able to save money for my retirement. To compare this to the best player that is considered today, or to be considered the best player today, Alex Rodriguez makes $32 million in one season. That's not a career. That's one season. $32 million. In 1994, Major League Baseball went on strike. They didn't get locked out. They went on strike. And the reason they went on strike was because they didn't have a pension plan. $32 million a season, and you need a pension plan. Really? I have been working most of my adult life since the age of 18, and I don't have a pension plan, and I don't have a retirement plan. I work as a consultant, and because of that, I don't have enough money to save for a pension plan or a retirement plan, much less my son's college. But $32 million a year isn't enough for a baseball athlete to save. Now, I make a lot less than that, and I try to put money away. But I digress. In the 60s, the most prolific ball player of the time was Mickey Mantle, and he was paid a handsome salary of $100,000 a year, and that was for his last 2 years, and this is according to the website mickeymantle.com. He made $100,000, and in today's money, that's $534,000. That is still well below the $32 million that Alex Rodriguez makes. And Mickey Mantle was paid a very handsome salary because the Yankees wanted him to stay a Yankee. They did not want him to go somewhere else and play. So they told him, we'll give you a raise as long as you stay. Before Mickey Mantle's day, most athletes made maybe $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 a year, which back then, yes, was a great salary. But they also had one thing in common. If they didn't play, they didn't get paid. And if they went to an owner and tried to say, well, I'm not going to play unless you give me more money, it was very simple. The owners got together and said, this guy's not playing baseball anymore. And they didn't. The baseball players had no choice but to accept the money they were given and be happy with that money. In 1970, Curt Flood sued the St. Louis Cardinals because he asked for a raise and St. Louis told him no, flat out. When this happened, he went to court and said he wanted to become what's known as a free agent and be able to market himself to other ball clubs who might want to pay him more money. The courts found against him. However, 4 years later, Jim Catfish Hunter, who was the World Series champion of the Oakland A's, decided he would sue and won his case and became a New York Yankee for $32 million for his career. I'm sorry, $3.2 million for his career. not for 1 year, for the rest of his contract with the New York Yankees, which lasted 7 years. So this is how we have come to what today has brought us to. Athletes not only think they deserve the money, but they demand it. Alex Rodriguez signed with the New York Yankees last year in a renewal of his contract for an unbelievable $160 million. And that's broken down into $32 million a year for the rest of his career. He's supposed to play with the New York Yankees. Now, that can change. He can sue to become a free agent and go somewhere else and make more money. But I think for $32 million, I'd finish my career with the Yankees too. The way that this came about is through the free agency and through the fact that the owners realized that people will come to the ballpark no matter what they charge. When my family used to take me to the ballpark, as I said before, it was about $50 a game. And that would include hot dogs, drinks, maybe a plastic helmet with the team logo on it, maybe a little bat, some trinket that you could bring home and tack to your wall or wear on your head when you're playing baseball and pretend you're one of the guys out on the field. This was all well and good, and it was, back in the 60s and 70s, I'm sure $50 was a lot of money to my parents. Nowadays, if I wanted to take my wife to a Yankee game and sit 2 seats away from the Yankee dugout, the cost of the game just to get in would be $4,900. I'm not kidding. It's $2,450 a seat. That's $4,900. I can't imagine what $4,900 is supposed to get you, but from what they say on the Yankees website, it tells me that it gets me waitress service for all my food and drink, and I might actually get to talk to a ball player before the game. $4,900. I could take my family to Disney World for a week on $4,900. There is no sport in America where you pay the amount of money you pay to go see a Major League Baseball game. Hockey doesn't cost that much. Basketball, even courtside seats, don't cost that much. Football doesn't cost that much unless you own a private box. This is for 2 seats on the first base side, 2 seats away from the Yankees dugout. It's incredible. I can't imagine that people are actually happy paying these prices, but the fact of the matter remains that people do go to the games and they pay these prices. This is not for a World Series game either. This is strictly for a regular game against the Kansas City Royals on May 7th. Kansas City Royals are in last place. I can't imagine paying $4,900 to go watch a last place team. So, the $4,900, then you add in the drinks, the hot dogs, the waitress service, the tip. You're talking about at least another $500. So we're up to $5,400 just to go watch a baseball game. That $5,400 comes in very handy because that $5,400 goes part to the owner and then the other part to Alex Rodriguez. Not to mention the other Yankees who are all making $14, $15, $16 million a year. Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and so on. The way we can stop this is very easy. Stop going to baseball games. There's no reason to pay that kind of money. I can sit in my home and pay an extra $30 a month for 4 months and watch every Major League Baseball game in the country a week on DirecTV. So that comes out to 4 months, $40. That's $160. $160 compared to $4,900 for one night. And you know what? I can sit on my couch, get up and go get a beer. I can make myself a hot dog. I think a pack of hot dogs is $1, maybe $2. I mean, Oscar Mayer, really? I can have my kids sitting next to me. I don't have to have anybody yelling in my ear, cursing so that my son can hear it. I don't need to worry about anything because I'm in the safety of my own home. And you know what would happen? The ballparks wouldn't make the money. And then the owners wouldn't make the money. And then what happens? Well, they have to tell the ball players, either you take a salary cut or I have to shut the team down. I guess people would miss baseball for a while, but you know what? There's a minor league stadium in just about every city in America. I'm pretty sure there's one in Colorado. Pretty sure there's one in Oklahoma, Omaha, wherever you go. There's a bit of minor league baseball stadium. You can go there and watch a game for the prices I went in the 1960s. That's still a little expensive to watch minor league baseball, but it's a lot better than $4,900, so I can maybe get a chance to talk to a ball player. Minor league games, they have races in between innings. They have shows that go on, singers that come out and sing. It's a veritable plethora of activity at a minor league baseball game. It's enjoyable. Hot dogs are probably $1.50. Sodas are $1, maybe $2. To get in is probably $15, $20 at the most if you want to sit right down by the field. And you know what? When you sit right down by the field, you get to talk to all the players. When they're on deck batting, they'll come over and talk to you. They won't even think about it. Because they want you to be happy so that you keep coming back so they can get paid. Because they don't make $32 million in a minor league baseball stadium. Feelings of the fans today, I don't understand. This is a group of men who went on strike and shut down baseball for an entire year so that you couldn't go watch. You couldn't sit there and say, hey, we can see irregular players playing. They just shut it down for an entire season and deprived everybody of watching baseball. Is this fair? No. But yet, people still go to the ballpark. How do we stop this from happening? We have to make people aware of the fact that Alex Rodriguez makes $32 million a year. He's only one ball player out of hundreds in the United States that make that kind of money. He needs a retirement plan. We need a break. Our country is falling apart around us. We need to help each other economically. One way of doing that is stopping the fact that the United States would spend more money paying baseball players than it will feeding the homeless. We need to make the owners aware that there is no way that we will go to a game for someone who makes $32 million. So, what have we covered? We've covered the salaries, the players of old, the players of new. We've covered the fans and the owners and what has to change to make this acceptable again. My end thoughts are the easiest way to stop these people from being so greedy is to shut them down. Show them that we're not going to go. Stop going to baseball games. Watch it on TV. Like I said, $160 over a 4-month period, and you can see every game baseball has to offer in every state across the nation on HD TV. I thank you for your time tonight, and I appreciate the fact that many of you are baseball fans and probably disagree with me. But think about something. Are you making $32 million a year to go out and get dirty paving roads? Are you making $32 million a year to sit in front of a computer all day and have people complain to you? No, you're not. And I bet your pension plan is nowhere near as good as Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez or any congressman in the United States. Neither is your medical plan. Thank you again. Have a good night.